What's up, humans and freaks? Just got out of a lunch with my brother Aaron. And so here's what happened. Bottom line is this. When you live in a blue city, liberal, democratic, whatever you want to call it, woke city, we're in Bellingham, Washington, which Bellingham is kind of purple. I mean, you got a lot of libtards running around. They're usually younger. A lot of the older generation is conservative. But anyway, we're in a public space having lunch, and we're talking about things we may be talking about on a podcast we may start up. And I'm telling Aaron how a lot of these red-pilled truths that are out there, the church is ignorant to. Okay, so when I tell you guys that the church needs to take the red pill, that's on a lot of different levels. But specifically, we were talking about men and women intersexual dynamics. The dynamic between men and women, the intersexual relationships. Okay, so I'm just explaining to him some cold, hard facts about female nature. And hey, the bottom line is this. Male nature is sinful and female nature is sinful because we're all sinful human beings. But our sinful natures manifest differently. Men's sinful nature manifests in a certain way. Women's sinful nature manifests in a certain way. But one of my overarching points is that culturally, living in America, it's politically incorrect in America to critique women. They're off limits. You can blast men all day. You can criticize and bash and scrutinize men all day long. And you hear this from pulpits a lot, but you rarely ever hear any critiques or criticisms of women. But once you start criticizing women, and when I say criticizing women, I don't even necessarily mean that in a bad way. Again, I'm just pulling up statistics for my brother Aaron about what females do in society in 2024 America. Okay, so for example, one of the statistics that's out there, and you can talk to any divorce attorney, talk to judges, talk to whoever you want. Okay, 70 to 80% of all divorces in America are initiated by the women. Now, you can debate why those divorces are initiated, but the fact remains 70 to 80% of all divorces in America are initiated by women. And if she's college educated, it goes up to 90%, you guys. Okay, so that's one data point. So I'm bringing up these data points to Aaron at lunch, my boy, my brother, and this woman sitting next to us, in the restaurant, she's with either her husband or her boyfriend. It's one of the two, okay? She butts in on our conversation, and I don't care. I love it. I mean, the more the merrier. It's entertaining. So we stop our conversation and we let her, shoot her shot. And she basically comes at us all mean, and, her voice is literally, dude, when I say triggered, woo, her head was like, and it was about to burst off her shoulders. It was all red, face was all red. Her hands were shaking. Her voice was shaking, quivering. And she's like, my dad's a pastor, and I think the way you're talking about women is not the way Jesus would talk about women. And I looked right at her and I said, oh, yes, it is. You know why? Because it's true. And she was expecting me to back down. Oh, sorry. Did I offend you? I'm sorry. See, this is how the liberal left woke mob operates. I'm offended, therefore I win. I'm offended, therefore I win. I'm offended, therefore I win. No. No, chick. You're barking up the wrong tree on this one. So, I just turned to her and said that. And then we continued to let her talk. And my brother Aaron, he's an awesome guy, but, he's trying to come at her with more of a soft, sweet, apologetic stance, which is fine. Whatever. She got both flavors. She got his flavor. She got my flavor. I'm New York. I'm not California. I'm New York. I'm East Coast. I'm not West Coast. Even though I was born on the West Coast and I live on the West Coast, my attitude is East Coast. East Coast people are straight up. New York, straight up. LA, fake. Hollywood, So that's what I mean by you're either New York or California. I ain't California. I lived in California for 12 years, but I'm New York. What you see is what you get. I'm a real one. I don't play with you. So, Aaron starts, his little deal, which is fine. She had nothing to say. She really had nothing to say. She wanted to get her digs in and then piece it. So guess what? She got all her food boxed up. She's telling her boyfriend or husband, whoever it was one of the two. I just can't. We gotta go. Let's just box it. She boxed up her food and they bounced and they left the restaurant. She literally could not sit there and enjoy her lunch with her husband or boyfriend because of the simple facts I'm stating. Triggered. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. So I told Aaron, I said, Aaron, that right there is confirmation that we need to talk about these topics on the podcast if we start a podcast. That's confirmation right there. The fact that she had such an outrageous, triggered response underlines and puts exclamation points behind everything I'm saying. To wrap this up, guys, for decades and decades and decades, we have never gotten the truth, the red pill truth about female nature. It's never been told until the red pill manosphere came along. Now, the red pill manosphere, technically, it started on internet forums, okay, with people like Rollo Tomassi. You can look up these names. Rollo Tomassi, Tom Likas, Richard Cooper, Fresh and Fit, Coach Greg Adams, Kevin Samuels, great one. Guys, we have been lied to for many decades and propagandized for many decades about female nature. Now, again, I'm not saying it's any worse or any better, but it's no one bats an eye or nobody gets offended or no one takes a second look if people are talking about male nature. How male nature, the sinful proclivities of male nature, no one cares. No one bats an eye. Oh, yeah. Beat him up. Bash man. Tell all about male nature. Nobody cares. No one gets offended. We just take it for granted. But the moment you start talking about female nature and how females really are in general, not all of you, but in general, just like you can generalize men, you can generalize women. So look up Pearl or Pearly things on YouTube and look up the Happy Wife School on YouTube. Look these up. These are women telling you how women really are. And see, a lot of women hate on these women. Why? Because they're telling the truth. They're exposing the game. And a lot of women hate these women for telling the truth about the sisterhood. Okay? So guys, bottom line is this. It says to me that, see, the red pill truths need to be brought in to the church world, because the church world is highly ignorant of the red pill truths. Highly ignorant. Because it's politically incorrect to talk about things that, frankly, people are not used to, because for many decades it was always one side. You only heard the man side. You never heard the female side. But all the cats are out of the bag now. So you can't say, oh, it's men bashing. No, because women are saying the same thing. Okay? So stats don't lie. The cold hard facts are the cold hard facts. So it was an interesting thing that just happened. Hilarious. Triggered to the max degree. She had to box up her lunch and bounce out of that restaurant. Anyways, till next time.